What's up, guys? It is your boy Will, and welcome to another day, another video. I'm starting with my first podcast ever, and graciously, we have Dan at Pizza Boy featuring for our first podcast ever. I don't even have a name for this podcast yet. How are you doing, Dan?
Very good. You should call it Big Willie style.
Big Willie style. We're on the Big Willie podcast right now with Will and Dan.
There you go.
Dan's ex-header opens up as it's like 500 screenshots of I want to give you the virtual award for funniest designer of the year. Hey Dan, the funniest designer on X, the everything app. Funniest designer on X is Brand by Dan, which is an old at. His new ad is at Pizza Boy, which is insane. Did you get that on the marketplace, or how did you get Pizza Boy?
I'll tell you the story of it. So I do love pizza. That's not a lie. My business is called Happy Pizza. So I do like pizza. But then this random kid did one of the, which I'm sure we'll get into, these many child designers on the platform, started calling me Pizza Boy as like an insult. And I was like, that's not an insult. So did it multiple times. And then I get the email from X saying, oh, you have access to the marketplace now. So I just searched for Pizza Boy and it was available. And then I waited like 16 days and then I had it. So it was purely out of spite. Purely. I just wanted him to know that his attempted insults have actually made me money. Just wanted him to know that. Yeah.
And you built your whole brand around that. Did you already have Happy Pizza Studio before this?
Oh, yeah. That's been like a year and a half now. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So it started as a Twitter little rage bait meme turned into the at Pizza Boy handle. I think it's crazy that X is opening up the marketplace and allowing people to eventually buy ads. That's gonna be crazy.
It will be buy because at Dan wasn't available, and I can't even search the marketplace anymore. It doesn't let me. It's like you have one, so you can't even search. So, but at Daniel was there. But it was purple, so it was a rare handle, and they charged people like a minimum of 10K before. Because I have access to some verified orgs, and they had access to like the original marketplace that isn't what it is now. And that was like, yeah, it's 10K minimum. It even had it in writing. 10K minimum. Not worth it. Like crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure in Elon Musk's attempt to make X profitable, I mean, I think it's a brilliant idea. I don't think it's a brilliant idea on the fact that I think people shouldn't have to pay for handles. Like, you got to make a way for free. But from a business perspective, I think it's brilliant. I think every platform will copy this. And if you have a nice at, you gotta be using it, because I wonder what the rules are.
Well, I didn't do research, but I think it's like 10 years of inactivity, I think, is the sweet spot, because the original Pizza Boy, like, God rest his soul, I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but he doesn't have the handle anymore. I don't know what would have been interesting. Maybe I could have I should have bookmarked one of his tweets maybe, and then revisited it now and see what's happened to him, because I don't know what they do to it. I mean, maybe they just completely deactivate the account and it's just gone. I don't know. But his last tweet, there were a bunch of like default tweets, I think, for some sort of game he was playing maybe, and it was like always the same tweet. I don't know. That was 12 years ago. So I think that made it available because somebody else wanted one from, I think it was like 9 years ago, the guy had last tweeted, and it wasn't, it just outright said not available. It wasn't rare, it wasn't available. So I think they've just gone, 10 years. 10 years sitting on a handle like Pizza Boy is, and part of me feels bad as well, because I was doing a lot of searching on Twitter of Pizza Boy at the time, and there's like some indie game called like Pizza Boy and stuff. And I was thinking, it would be cool if they had it. They have this game, but then I was like, nah, it's more fun if I have it. So
it's more fun. I think I don't know. How do you feel? We're a little on the just X, not design. We'll get to design here in a second. But what if you could sell your at to someone else? Like you own Pizza Boy now, you're locked into that. But now that indie game company that just gets $100 million check, and they're like, we want this thing. So they DM you and they're like, hey, like I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool if you could. It'll create more of like sitting on a bunch of domains, but for business for X, they just want premium plus subscribers that get those. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult. I have Big Pizza Boy as well, by the way.
Big Pizza Boy. Oh, is this your alt? I gotta look.
Yeah, so I think I posted on it like 4 times. But somebody was like, while the transfer was going through, somebody was like, "Oh, Big Pizza Boy," and I was like, "No, it's rubbish." Then I noticed it was available, so I was like, "Oh, I'm actually gonna have that." So I have
That's
Big
so
Pizza.
funny.
I have 1 follower. Oh, it's you. Just
It's
now.
me. I just followed. So the Big Pizza Boy wasn't previously taken.
No, it was just completely available, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like wild. So, yeah, that marketplace thing. You got to think like, does it? It doesn't take away from X, I don't think, but you would get like a bunch of people registering the next big thing, kind of thing, right? I mean, I guess it's not like I don't know. I what I would say is I don't think it should be against the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had like a really good one, like Big Willie podcast or something, and you wanted it, but it was on my account. Realistically, there's nothing stopping me just giving you the account details, right?
Right.
And then you just morph it into your account because you can't really. I have. This is really off topic, but I have swapped handles between accounts before,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to create like a triangle of accounts. So I was here with like my phone, and then I had 2 browsers because I made my studio account a verified org before, but it had like no followers, so I wanted to give it. I made it my account, so I swapped my handle with the Happy Pizza handle, and then I had to have like a third holding account. And I just like rotated them around. And funnily enough, as soon as you relinquish a handle, it's instantly available.
Oh dang.
There's no like cool off period or anything. Like if you change your name, someone can instantly take your old name.
So you gotta be careful.
I guess that's why they hold when you do it via the marketplace. They hold your old handle. So Brand by Dan like doesn't exist, but it's not available.
Mm-hmm. That creates another potential problem. Like if you have like an OG name and you want another OG name off the marketplace, then you could have 2 and whatever you want. That's interesting. Anyway, X is a very fun platform specifically for designers. I work with, there's 8 people on my team and 2 are like actual designers that their job is design, but the 4 leadership group is like we're all from design. And we all are just on X sending each other inspiration. I think that's how I found your channel with or your X account was someone sent it to me. But I think X is just a super powerful platform for designers. But I want to hear more about your story and how you got into design. Like, what was your inspiration? Like, when did you first use Photoshop and Illustrator? Is that your current platform? Are you on Affinity? How did Dan get into this?
Well, I'll tell you what, I wasn't in it. So I was mad for drawing as a kid, just like my son is now. And actually, so I'm oh damn, it's really soon. I think it's next week actually. I'm giving a talk. Actually, really let me quickly search this. I'm actually giving a talk at my school. Hopefully not like today. I'm sure it's not. 6th film talk. 8th of December. So next
December
week.
8th.
I'm giving a talk on a career day, and I was thinking on it, and I was like, I've actually gone from what I wanted to do when I was at school to now doing it like 18 years later. So everything in the middle was kind of redundant. None of it really led to this, apart from life experiences, I guess. But I was mad for art at school. I loved it. And then I joined the army for 12 years for like an unknown reason. I just did it. So I did that for 12 years. And then I was in a very tech related role. So then I got out, I stayed in it. I did like customer support and then software engineering and then DevOps. And then I did engineering management and product management. And then I got really burnt out doing all that, which I didn't really enjoy doing. I just did it for the money. So I got the nice apartment and stuff, but I kind of hated it. And then I went for a DevRel role thinking it'd be more creative. And it was, but they were just assholes and I hated them. And then they laid me off and I was like, thank God for that. And then I was sat there and I was streaming. I was streaming myself, like trying to find jobs. And I was like applying for jobs. And I was just like, I have like absolutely no desire to work for someone else at all. So then I went down this little route and I was like, what like skill do I have that could be enjoyable? And immediately I was like, well, the average person isn't very good at making websites, which to a developer is really simple. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that. Then I rapidly realized I don't like doing that. I didn't enjoy that. But the branding side of it, I was like, well, this is kind of fun. So then I just sort of transported myself back like 18 years and just started drawing things. And then just over a year now, almost a year and 1 month since I was full-time doing it to now. So that's where it's gone. And now I just kind of do whatever I want to do. Like I have a pretty low bar of what's required to be earned every month. And I relied on that bar at the start. I was like, okay, I need to hit that number for the month so I can pay my mortgage the next month. That's surpassed by a lot now. And now I have like a year or so runway. So now I'm just like, I'll just take fun projects and whatever I like doing, which is the whole point, which is why it goes back to that career day thing. They probably wouldn't want me to say it, but I want to tell the kids, like, you have to just do what's fun because it's, imagine if I would have done design straight from school and I would have been doing it for 18 years. I could have got really burnt out, or I could be where I am now, but 18 years ahead. So yeah.
Do you think you would have your same level of success today if you had went into it 18 years ago? Do you think you were like mature enough and to be able to be consistent and like manage your own schedule, or do you think you needed the discipline of like the military?
Yeah, I don't think I really like came online until like 27, probably. And I'm 34 now. So 27, like a year after I left the army. Was it? Or just as I was leaving. Which coincides with when I met my wife. So she probably like unlocked.
She's like, check out these Instagram reels.
Well, she was like, I was like always saying, oh, I want to leave the army. But she was like, okay, just do it. And I was like, oh, you're right. I can just do it. Yeah, it's like not hard at all. I'll just do it. So I did it. But yeah, it's like a combination. Like I'm not religious. I'm not spiritual really at all. I'm not even really scientific. To be honest, I just don't really care about anything that's going on apart from what I do. But I do believe quite strongly in like knock-on effects and stuff and situation stuff, because like you don't know where I would have been, and had I left the army a year later or a year earlier, things could be different. I tell you what, had I not taken that DevRel role, my X wouldn't have grown, and I wouldn't have had that base platform, because it was either 5K or about to be 5K a year ago when I started the business. And it was that network that I built on X through the DevRel stuff that allowed me to have like already a pretty good pool of potential clients. So had I not have had that, I don't know. And you get a lot of these gurus and stuff, right? You know, Brett Swan, I liked him, and then he quote tweeted me, and now I think he's a dick.
He quote tweeted you?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
deleted it. He deleted it like while I was asleep. He did it, and then I woke up to people sending it to me. Anyway, I don't want to give him any airtime. He's just a dick. Dan Petty is really nice. So you have these guys. What I'm saying is, you have these guys that are really big, right? Their accounts on Twitter, at least, are very big, and their accounts on Twitter are very big because they've been doing it for a really long time on Twitter. But I always wonder if they joined Twitter today, even with the same skill level and all the same experience, they're just starting from zero, would they have any success?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that was their only platform that they're allowed to have, or they can have others, but they have to start from zero. No one knows who they are, but they still have the same skill. Would they get anywhere? And I'm not sure, you know. I certainly don't think I would have at all. If I started a brand new account, I was like, oh, I just got laid off. I'm starting this. Nothing, I don't think. I didn't get any clients from anywhere else either. It was all Twitter. And now, after a year, which is when they say your like warm leads pretty much go, now I'm getting ones from like LinkedIn, I'm getting direct people coming in, I'm getting whatever, and referrals and stuff. But at the start, it was all Twitter. Like 6 figures through Twitter alone. And I don't think I would have had it. So, yeah, my answer is I had to go through everything to be here, because you can't have any of them without having everything else, right? You can't, which is again why you can't regret anything, right? You can't, unless you're in like a really shit position now. Then you could probably regret the stuff, right? But if you've gone down and come up again, you can't regret down, because you wouldn't be here without the down. So it's all, yeah, that's my view anyway.
Yeah, that I have a very similar view to regret. I guess I would feel the same, even if you're down, because I feel like the times that you're the most down are the times that you're the most selfish, and the times that you're most thinking about, like, and that's the psyche part about depression in general, is the time when you're depressed, you can only your only focus is on yourself, and your only focus is on how you feel, and your only focus is on the bad things around you. And one of the best parts of life is sharing it with other people and like caring for other people. And I feel like a lot of those, when you're in those down situations, you have that regret, you have that like fear and anxiety, but it's all like self-focused, and where you're able to like, you were quickly able to communicate with other people, build that following in that time. And then that created that opportunity for you, which I think is really cool. But I do have a similar view on regret, and the, like, if you're in a really bad position, yeah, you'll probably regret it, but it could work.
Yeah, but I'd also tried a bunch of things in the past while I was in employment. Like, oh, I'll do like a side hustle. I don't think I ever made, I think I made a couple of hundred through like Pokemon stuff, like reselling Pokemon. That was before eBay got rid of all their fees. So that was when there was fees. So I barely made anything. I gave up. I gave up on that. I started like a jiu-jitsu belt company, and I gave up on that because I had no reason to succeed. Like, there's no reason for success. But then as soon as I got laid off that second time, and I remember I was sat right here in this chair, and I had a call right there on that laptop. Well, 2 laptops ago now. But on that laptop, I had a call on it, and they told me I got laid off. I just closed it, and I literally felt absolutely nothing. I just felt nothing. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty good sign that like I don't care at all really about it. And that's what I told my wife. I was like, oh, I didn't absolutely no emotion. So that's when, like, okay, I think maybe I had like 3 maximum like 4-month runway, like emergency runway maybe. And yeah, I had to sort of back against the wall kind of thing, make it work, which I think I did now. So yeah.
How long was that process of like leaving your last job and then starting to get like mortgage covering freelance clients.
Yeah. I look at this quite a lot. I have it on my banking app. I won't like show you my banking app, but I can go to Insights and like tax year and look at the months, and you can see it going up. So like April, May, June, July, April, May, June, July, August. That's this April. I mean, like even now, it's like
Oh,
up.
that's so cool.
It's like going up, and that's from April this year. And so and it's always done that. So even last year, it was like even lower. And I think I can go to last year. Yeah, January this year. February net income. The net income, which is obviously in minus out, was £500. January was 1,000, but that was 1,000 in, £19 out. So I didn't pay myself, and the out is me paying myself. That's what the out. Right? So I'd say quite fast. I think the first month I had to. I didn't pay myself from the business for like November, December, January, because I had a paycheck at the end of November, and then they gave me like a month and a half or something. So they kind of paid me out to the end of the year. It wasn't huge, but I had enough to not have to do that. And then you're talking around Feb, I was like, oh, I need to start paying myself. And then luckily that kind of sparked me to like, oh, it was going up a bit and then down, and then it's just been like a steady up now, which is super good. So yeah, very happy with that.
Yeah. So you got clients through X primarily. How did those early sales go? Was it a lot of you reaching out, setting up calls? Was it them just, hey, I need a brand guide, and you just did everything through chat?
So, at the beginning, so I was streaming in my DevRel job. I was streaming. Some days I streamed 8 hours a day. I streamed the whole work because I was working in open source, so it was allowed to perfectly fine. So I was doing that, and then Andras, who owns Coolify, he would often raid me with his stream, and then we'd have it for stream, and then I'd raid someone else, and then I'd go off work or whatever. So we had this sort of like joint community where like his people would watch my stream afterwards and blah blah. And then when I got laid off, I was still streaming. So then they found out like, oh, he's unemployed now. He doesn't have a job and stuff. And then they like had the live reaction of me like going, well, I don't actually want to work for anyone else. I'll do my own thing. And then they sort of saw it being built over like a week or so. And then one person in that community reached out, and I did one of their logos. It's somewhere, it's probably on my portfolio. It's like a head with a spiral inside it or something. I did like 3 logos for him. So he massively like set me up, and that gave me like a really small portfolio. And then I sort of posted them as content, and then more people saw, and then there's a few people. Yeah, and then I think it took until around, I didn't really get anything big until like the April or the May. So it was a good like 6 months, 5 months.
Do you have any retainer clients?
Yeah, right now I do. Yeah,
would you say that's like? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I have a retainer client now, and I'm not that much of a fan. Like I have people telling me like, don't do retainers. At the time, it was great. So I've had a retainer in the past that's come and gone. And I have one now that's been going on like since May. And it's fine. I don't mind it, but I wouldn't mind if they dropped. Then I could just focus on big projects. It's like I have a retainer now, but we're also doing a big project, and they're much more fun, I think, these big things. Retainers are usually like small drips of things, right?
Yeah.
Whereas big project is like this whole piece. So yeah, they're good. But again, I wouldn't mind if it dropped. But because I heard someone told me, I don't know who it was, It could have even been Dan Petty on a stream. I honestly can't remember who said it, but the relationship doesn't work because they want to pay you as little as possible and get as much work out of you, and you want to get as much money and do as little work. So it's like a constant. It's not going to work. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's probably not going to work. But like I said, I've been doing it for 7 months now, so it's pretty good. Can't really complain.
Yeah, where do you primarily get your inspiration? So you like working on big projects, which I think is really unique because a lot of, like you said, there's a mindset with designers, especially on X, where it's like, I'm doing it obviously as a job, so I need to get paid for it. And I need to do, like you said, as little work, get the most, or do a high volume. Big projects, I feel like the ideal is like you work on 3 big projects a year or 4 big projects a year, once a quarter, but they're really big.
Yeah.
Where do you get your inspiration from on those big projects? Like, what do you have an example of a really big project you did in the past and where you kind of drew inspiration from?
But we're doing one now, and the inspiration is coming from them mainly. I mean, that's what I want to do. Because you got to, like, at the end of the day, it's not my project. It's their project. I need to get them. We spend ages. This project alone, we spent like at least 2 weeks at the start just having them, like, really. There's 3 stakeholders, like 3 decision makers, which is terrible, but it really was all about getting the 3 of them to align on some sort of taste, and then getting the 3 of them to tell us everything they love and everything they hate, and then going back again and being like, this is what I think you should like. We spent 2 weeks doing that, and then we spent a week doing the first round of concepts for the logo, and it was that Hermes one that I posted, the Hermes head, white background, blue. It was on Twitter somewhere. I definitely posted it on Twitter.
Is it within the last month?
If you go to media, it's going to be there pretty fast. Yeah. You scroll down and you can see like this white background.
I just see all your memes. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's not that far down. It's not that far down.
Not that far down. Okay. Let's see here.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, white background. It's the squares. Squares and rectangle. Is that it?
Down below that is another one.
Oh, down below that. Okay. Oh yeah, the head with the wings, the like helmet with the wings.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and guess what? That idea came from them. We gave completely different ideas that were completely on brand. We showed him a bunch of concepts, and Luke, who works with me, he did a previous one that was sort of a silhouette of a Greek god, and they were like, that's sick. And we showed them that in a mood board. Like, when we do mood boards of like logo concepts, we'll take a bunch from Cosmos and Pinterest, but then we'll also put like 4 of ours in there as well and not tell them, in the hopes that when they do like the love-hate thing, they'll love ours. They didn't. They hated pretty much all of them put hate on our logos. It wasn't a good start, but like 2 of them loved Luke's previous, like, that kind of style logo. So they were really like, we want that, but meaningful to us. And they're like a military communications type thing, which is really good for me, which is why I'm really invested in it. So Hermes is like, Hermes Mercury, he's a god of communication, whatever. So we landed on that and they loved it. So inspiration really always comes from them. But also, when I'm out, where's my camera? Let me get my camera out. I always take pictures of things when I'm out, which is really strange, but that's what I do. I'll take pictures of things that I like, that I see. So my local coffee shop had like, they were selling this virgin oil, and I thought it was really cool.
Glug extra virgin olive oil. That is a really cool branding. Yeah. I like the feel. It's very fun.
Yeah, really fun, really like unorthodox and a bit abstract. Like the glug writing is really unusual, and So I'll take things like that and like store it away, and then actually on a call with a lead this morning, I showed them that. I was like, you know what, this project sounds pretty fun, and I saw this the other day, and this is really fun. It's the kind of project I want to do, and like, I buy skateboards, and then I ride them, but I buy ones that like look like this. They just look like.
That looks like is it Santa Monica? Or Santa Cruz? The Santa Cruz, very
This is heroin. It's similar. It's brand's called Heroin.
Heroin.
And they're just like crazy. It's just one guy who illustrates all the decks and stuff. It's really cool. But yeah, that's my inspiration, because there's also the other thing. You get some people that are like, oh, you have to just consume. Mm-hmm. Just consume. Just block out 30 minutes of your day and just consume. I actually don't. I don't want to consume, because I want to. They're the band Suicide Silence. Their lead singer, he died like years ago now, but there was an interview and he was like, I actually don't listen to metal. He's like an iconic metal band, but he doesn't listen to metal. He's like, I don't want to get influenced by them. I want them to be influenced by me. So I'll make the influencing material, and then they can get influenced, but I don't want to get influenced by them. So I'm not saying that, I'm the Mitch Lucker of design, but I do like that concept of like, because otherwise it's just like a big dog food thing, isn't it? Of like everyone posting dashboards on Twitter. So I'm going to make a dashboard. And then it's just this never-ending cycle of the same. But then over time, it will get cleaner and more minimal. And before you know it, you've just got like a dashboard of buttons, and that's it. And then nobody's like gone out and done like the glug of dashboards. I want to do the glug of dashboards. So yeah, it's hard, because I do go to Cosmos a lot, and I'm like searching for like words that have to do with the project and seeing what's like on there and like getting a vibe. And it's good to see how like other people have done things, like like a silhouette logo. How have others approached, like what are they taking from the silhouette that stands out, and that kind of thing. Like I'll do that kind of inspiration, but not like entire buckets of inspiration. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that defines truly creative people, because you want to be the one that creates, actually, and the less influence you have, the more that it's actually coming from inside of you versus, like you said, the influence from other people. And so I think truly creative people are really passionate about that. More systems focused people, they're the ones that are like, I want these like channels of inspiration, because I have a system that can channel and inspire. But you're so right. On X, I see you'll get those days where it's a feed of people just copying each other in the same style, and your feed literally, everyone's slightly different, but it's mainly there's people do the keyboard buttons for a while or whatever, and
that was the
dashboards. Oh,
so then what annoyed me, maybe I should have done it, but like somebody could have just done that, but just made it stupid. Made a keyboard that didn't look like a keyboard. It's a bunch of like cat heads or something. Why isn't? That's where it should be. I'm gonna start doing that. If I see a trend that I see like more than 4 posts, I'm gonna do it. Then I'm just gonna like end it. Gonna make it stupid, and then no one else wants to do it.
I think that would be a really funny idea for you if you did that. Like every major design trend on X, you just took it and you glugged it, and you can call it the Glug series, and you just make it just crazy. I think your work would blow up for sure.
That's going to be, I'm going to call it the Glug. And I am meaning to buy some of that, because they have one that's a drizzle on and one that's cooking oil. And apparently the drizzle one on like some bread drizzled on some salt apparently is incredible. I've never had olive oil to like directly ingest. I just cook in it. I've never experienced like tasteful olive oil, so I'm actually excited to try that.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know when you try it.
Big up Glug, and whoever designed it, because that's exceptional packaging.
We're 11 minutes past the time, so I appreciate you being super graceful with your time. I'm gonna have like 2 questions for you to end it. First one is, one of your earlier tweets was that you thought MySpace and MSN was peak internet era. This was probably, I pulled that tweet from when we were originally scheduled to have the call. So it might have been like 2 or 3 weeks ago when you had that. Do you still think MySpace, why is MySpace and MSN peak internet era for you?
Because my MSN felt like the first time. I'm pretty sure MSN was at the same time where it cost money to text people.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 10p a text in the UK. So when MSN came on, that was like, wow. Like, as long as I can get on the internet at home, which was still dial-up, right? I could just communicate with all my friends non-stop. Like, that was my first experience of like a real like proper chat, like a proper chat, where it wasn't like text, text. It was real DMs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then MySpace was just absolutely, that was the first social media that I did. I think it was one of the first ones, really, wasn't it? MySpace, and then the top 5 friends was always great. Everyone would get bitchy about top 5 friends. Not to mention, you could put music on it that auto played.
Mm-hmm.
You had full control over the CSS of the page. You could embed videos. It was just amazing. And it was like, it gave you enough without giving you too much. Like, now we have too much. But that was enough to where, like, to me as a kid, I felt like I had like my online thing, and then I had my real life thing. Like, that was the first time that you really had like 2, not alter egos, nothing extreme like that, but it was real like, oh, I'm now engaging with communities online that I haven't met in person, but they're actually probably better friends for me than real people, because I've been forced into these people at the school. So I think that was peak. Yeah, I think it was peak because, yeah, it gave you just enough internet without being like what we have now, which is too much internet.
Yeah, I figured when I read that, I was like, it was probably the customization, because I remember the MySpace. I was too young to really use it, but I remember my siblings and stuff like that had it, and they made you basically made your own website, and you could customize it in any way, the backgrounds, the patterns, music, embedding videos, like you said. And I was like, imagine X, but you could make your profile page whatever you wanted. That'd be crazy.
It was wild. It was peak. And I was in a band at the time, and you could have your own pages and upload your music.
Mm-hmm.
So like the like teenage band scene was huge around my area. And a lot of these big bands like Bring Me the Horizon and stuff, that's how they started.
Mm-hmm.
They were MySpace bands who then did a few shows locally, and now they're touring the world and they're multi-millionaires, you know. So that was the original SoundCloud for sure.
The original SoundCloud, original social media. Last question. What is your go-to coffee order?
Large white Americano.
Large white Americano. Simple.
Yeah, that's it. I want a lot of it, but I don't want it to be completely black. So I just have like a glug of milk.
Glug. That's the new word, glug.
Yeah, a glug of milk. I mean, this is my large white Americano from my local coffee shop, which, you know, isn't that big.
Yeah.
If I need to like lock in, I'll go down the road to Starbucks and I'll get one of their large white Americanos, and they are like as big as my head. So there you go.
Ton of coffee. Well, Dan, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Super interesting conversation and super interesting designer. And I will link. Hopefully you can send me your links and stuff like that, or like I'll link to Happy Pizza Studio and your X account. But anything else you want linked, let me know. But I appreciate your time so much, and going over by 16 minutes. It was a good conversation.